When I was growing up, we typically had brewer's yeast in our fridge, which where I grew up, every household had. That's what's used to make bread, to bake with, from what I understand. But I also remember that my dad would take that, mix it with water and a little bit of honey, and give it to me regularly to drink, maybe once a week or so. And obviously, I trusted my dad, so I didn't question as to why. And not that he was going to explain nutrition to a 10-year-old anyway. I didn't think it tasted fantastic, but with honey, it wasn't awful either. Little did I know that years later, it would be something that I started to consider a superfood after learning about just how crazy healthy this is. As a matter of fact, at first, I didn't even connect the dots. Those are the same things that I was taking because I come from Eastern Europe and it comes in a different form. And then when I was in the fitness industry and training and doing all the supplements, I came across brewer's yeast that came as a powder form. And because English is not my first language, I never connected that that's the same thing. So then as an adult, as I was doing my research on supplements, I came across it again and I thought, well, let me try it. And I feel like it turned things around for me drastically, and explain what I mean. I felt like I was having more energy. My cravings went away. And this is a big one because when I was bodybuilding, I developed a binging disorder and I started having crazy cravings. And one of the ways I stopped it is obviously I gained a little bit of body fat back, but I also stopped allowing myself to binge on anything. I only allowed myself to binge on food that is at home, which was healthy food. And then after that kind of calmed down and I didn't binge anymore, I still would have occasional cravings that I felt like I couldn't really control. And I feel like when I started taking brewer's yeast regularly, that my crazy cravings went away. See, what happens with the body is when we eat a lot of processed foods, we start craving that food. We start craving sugar. We start getting addicted to that food, which is why we crave it, just like a drug addict would need the drugs. However, when you cleanse your body from these things and you connect with your body and you start eating because you enjoy the food, but out of nutrition as well, if you have cravings, that only means your body is needing a vitamin or two or all of the vitamins that are in that particular food. Like, have you ever been on a crazy salad kick or a blueberry kick, or like you were craving some fruit or veggie so bad that you had to eat it for a few days and then you were fine? That's a sign that your body needed something from that food and then it left you alone. So not all cravings are bad. It's that when we're addicted to food that we crave that processed foods. Like if you have a sugar high, you're going to chase that sugar high again and again and again. This can also happen if our hormones are out of balance, if we're lacking sleep, we can be craving wrong things at these times. So what I feel happened with me right at the time when I was figuring out my binging and quieting it down is that I was still having that need to eat bad food, the need to eat processed food. And again, I feel like when I started taking brewer's yeast, it's that it just kind of went away. And this is why I really want to talk about that today, because when I started doing a further research on what the benefits of brewer's yeast are, I was amazed. Why are we not considering that a superfood? And if we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Lex Vuko. I have been in fitness and health industry for over 20 years now. I've been overweight, underweight, I've been injured, I've been overtrained, I've competed in amateur bodybuilding, boxing, and kickboxing, and all of these things led me to different issues in my body, like a thyroid issue, hormonal issue, and so on. And through my own education and through experimenting on myself, I have found a way to balance everything once again and be healthy mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, which is why I am here today to share all that information with you so that you can feel like you're at a 10 daily. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about minerals for a second. See, we talk about multivitamins all the time. You hear that they're good, they're bad, but a quality multivitamin should not be overlooked. The key word here is quality. And I'll link below to the one that I recommend, trust, and that I use. Now, minerals are typically not in a multivitamin because they're not vitamins. Minerals are needed in trace amounts, and we're supposed to really get it not only from the food we eat, but mainly from water. The real water that is earth-given is supposed to be full of minerals. But we live in cities, we don't have clean water other than tap water, or we have to buy it from plastic, so on. It's usually purified over and over and over again, so that it really doesn't have much much or any mineral content that it should have. Now I get it, we can't just go and get natural spring water, we can't like walk to a spring daily. I get it, and I'm not here to debate that. I'm here to help you feel better, sleep better, and improve whatever needs improving. So we're not getting enough minerals generally. And this is where brewer's yeast comes in. What is brewer's yeast in the first place? It is generally used in baking to raise the flour, at least where I come from. But it's also sold as a nutritional supplement, and that is how I found it in the United States. Either way, start considering it a superfood because of many, many benefits that it has. So it's got quite a few minerals in trace amounts that we need. It's packed with B vitamins. It does have protein, and it's just amazing for your body. For example, it supports thyroid function because it's high in selenium. Selenium is absolutely necessary for proper thyroid functioning, and most people are not getting enough selenium through food. Women, by the way, are 5 times more likely to have a thyroid issue compared to men. So this is an easy one to fix, adding selenium. Brewer's yeast is also very rich in B vitamins. It's an excellent source of B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B7, B9, and B12. These vitamins are crucial for energy production, brain function, and maintaining a healthy nervous system, the ability to calm down, the ability to handle stress, the ability to think clearly. Low B vitamins can lead to fatigue, depression, cognitive decline, memory loss, mental confusion, forgetfulness, and the list goes on and on. So it's not that maybe you're 40 and you're feeling fatigued all the time. It may be that you're simply missing some vitamins. With that said, it can raise your energy levels because of its effect on the body and because of these minerals. So high levels of B vitamin help have a healthy brain and a healthy central nervous system, which again helps you manage stress and reduce the risk of neurodegenerative diseases, which I don't know about you, but they seem to be more and more common these days. So we really have to pay attention to our brain. And for us ladies, during menopause, our brain can actually shrink. If you're more interested in finding out about that, you can watch my other video on it after this one, where I go into detail on how to protect your brain. Brewer's yeast can also help increase your energy because, again, you could be feeling fatigued because you're lacking some minerals. And that's what happened to me. I feel like I just woke up feeling more rested. Brewer's yeast also helps manage your blood sugar levels, especially for people with type 2 diabetes. Chromium, which is one of the minerals in brewer's yeast and the one that we obviously need, helps the body use insulin better. One study found that half a teaspoon of brewer's yeast daily for 3 months significantly lowered fasting blood sugar and hemoglobin A1C and improved insulin sensitivity. I'll leave the links to these studies in the description below if you want to read further. And with that said, it promotes weight management because, again, of the chromium content. Because it helps stabilize your blood sugar, it reduces your cravings and curbs your appetite, which is, again, what happened with me. So you don't feel as hungry, you don't have as many cravings, which makes it so much easier to lose weight. And I did mention to you that a couple times in my life, I did gain a significant amount of weight. And I have a whole video explaining how I dropped the 45 pounds last time in a quick, safe, and healthy way. And again, if you want to watch that video, you can do so after this one. Brewer's yeast also contains probiotics. Those are the foods that help feed your gut bacteria in a healthy way. This can help prevent diarrhea or any stomach issues. It can also help people with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. And again, remember, everything starts from your gut. How healthy your gut is determines how healthy you are going to be. A 2017 review of studies found that people with IBS who took brewer's yeast were 51% more likely to experience at least 50% reduction in symptoms comparing to those who took placebo. I don't know about you, but it's worth a try. Brewer's yeast also contains riboflavin, which is used to help treat and prevent migraines. One study found that participants who took riboflavin capsules for 6 months experienced fewer headaches and reduced their use of migraine medications by 64%. Again, it's worth a try. By the way, if you are someone experiencing frequent migraines and or headaches, I have a separate video explaining how to minimize and get rid of them. So again, you can check out that video after this one. Next thing that brewer's yeast can help with is strengthen your immune system and protect against viral infections such as flu. Because of its high content in B vitamins, especially B6, brewer's yeast can help regulate your hormones because B6 is absolutely crucial when it comes to hormonal regulation. It can also alleviate symptoms of PMS and just support your overall hormonal health. Because remember, it's not just about getting to a point where you're balancing your hormones, it's about how to keep that going. And because our hormones do change every week, as women, we really do need to pay attention to what our body is telling us and how our body's rhythm and our body's cycle is. And by the way, PMS is a condition. We're not all supposed to experience it. So many women and girls are experiencing PMS symptoms because we don't have our hormones imbalanced and we have not been taught how to read our body's signs and what our body needs. By the way, have you ever had brewer's yeast? Have you ever heard of it until now? Drop me a comment below and let me know if you've tried it and what you thought about it. The next thing that I find interesting about brewer's yeast is that it helps lower your LDL, your bad cholesterol, because of its high content in B3, which is also known as niacin. Having enough niacin on a regular basis reduces the chances of cardiovascular diseases. Of course, this is not a magic pill. This can help stress level, sleep, all these other things affected, but it can aid in the process of making your heart healthier, of making you healthier. Brewer's yeast is also great for detoxification because it has glutathione, which is a very powerful antioxidant that helps detoxify liver and detoxify the whole body. Once your liver is detoxed, you are clean. Now, brewer's yeast is high in protein and rich in amino acids, which means it's actually supporting muscle building. Now, if you're not working out, that's worthless. But if you're not working out, you need to, because muscle is the single most important factor when it comes to longevity. It is crucial when it comes to healthy aging. We want to live long, but we want to live a quality life. When you're building muscle, you're also strengthening your bones, which is essential for your overall well-being. Now, before we go into the last few benefits, I do want to mention that brewer's yeast is one of the many tools that can be used to support your health. It is not a magic pill, but everyone's health journey is unique. I've worked with people who have lupus, even cancer, people who are generally healthy, people who have been diagnosed bipolar. Everyone is different. So if you are needing more personalized advice or want to know how to incorporate these types of supplements and foods into your nutrition for a long-lasting change, feel free to book a coaching call with me or check out my membership, where I work together with my clients to help them develop a plan that will work for them. Because we cannot do cookie cutter things here. And again, if that's of interest to you, I'll leave the link in the description below. The next thing that brewer's yeast is surprisingly good for is breastfeeding. It can actually boost the milk supply and enrich breast milk with essential nutrients. Why is this not general knowledge? This is why it's often recommended to breastfeeding mothers. And if you've never heard of it, maybe it's time that we spread this word around. Because brewer's yeast is high in B vitamins, especially biotin, it is excellent for nails, hair, eyes, and skin. Brewer's yeast is also really high in antioxidants, which helps protect body from oxidative stress and reduces the risk of chronic diseases. Now, like I mentioned, this is not a magic pill. Everyone's different. Everyone's needs are different. I highly recommend getting blood work done regularly to see how your body is, how your heart health is, where your metabolism is, how is your stress level. I'll leave the link in the description as to which company I have used, I have my clients used, and I highly recommend, because not only that it will tell you where your blood levels are, but it will tell you further. It will guide you onto what to eat and what kind of habits you need to develop based on your original goals. Now, I do want to mention that, again, everyone is different, and there can be some side effects of taking too much brewer's yeast or taking brewer's yeast at all. I do want to mention that it can interfere with certain medications, but as I always say, if it's interfering with medication, it probably has the same effect as that medication. So it's worth talking to your primary healthcare provider about how to maybe reduce that medication and increase supplementation, proper supplementation that is. And as always, start slow. If you've never taken brewer's yeast, or if you haven't taken it in a while, maybe you need to figure out your gut bacteria and sort it out, because again, it's going to feed your gut bacteria in a proper way. So you want to always start slow. and see how your body reacts. Now, brewer's yeast is what I consider superfoods. There are other superfoods that you can take on a regular basis that can make a huge difference in how you think, feel, sleep, act, function. And I do have a separate video on top 13 superfoods that every woman should take. And if you're interested in watching that, click and watch now.